I died, choking on my own blood in the back of a cab. The driver's taillights blurring into red streaks as my vision tunneled to black. His panic screams echoing like a bad joke. Betrayed by the man I'd called mentor. Fired on a Friday with a smirk that said, "You're expendable." I swallowed a bottle of pills that night, not knowing the real poison was the secret he'd buried under my name. But death isn't the end when karma's got a glitch. Waking up gasping in my old apartment. The alarm blaring 7 a.m. on that same goddamn Friday. I realized I'd been reset, given one shot to claw back from the grave and make him pay. The coffee burned my tongue, just like it had that morning a year ago. Or was it yesterday? Time folds weird when you're looping back from suicide. I stared at my reflection in the stainless steel fridge door. Same sharp jawline. Same dark curls tied back in a no bullshit ponytail. Same hazel eyes that used to light up boardrooms. Lila Harper, 34. Rising star at Apex Dynamics. The cutthroat consulting firm that chewed up dreams and spat out bonuses. Back then, I believed in the grind. 80-hour weeks. Schmoozing clients over $20 martinis. Climbing from junior analyst to VP of strategy in 5 flat years. Now, those eyes burned with something feral. A predator's glint. I wasn't here to climb. I was here to burn it down. My phone buzzed on the counter. A text from Marcus Hale. My boss. The silver fox with a Harvard MBA and a conscience smaller than his cufflinks. Morning meeting rescheduled to 9. Don't be late. Big news. Big news. The words twisted like a knife. Last time. That big news was him pulling me into his corner office. Leather scent and oak paneling closing in. As he leaned back and delivered the line that shattered me. Lila, your roles become redundant. We're streamlining. Redundant. Like I was a spreadsheet line item he could delete. I'd begged, hell, I'd pleaded for details, for a severance package that wasn't a joke. But he just handed me the pink slip with that patronizing smile. The one that said he'd already moved on to poaching my contacts. What he didn't say, what I didn't know until the pills kicked in and I scrolled through leaked emails on my phone in a haze, was that redundant was code for cover-up. Marcus had been cooking the books for months, funneling client funds into offshore accounts to bankroll his side hustle, a shady startup peddling AI ethics consulting to the same core he was ripping off. And me? I'd signed off on the reports without a second glance, trusting his guidance. My name was on the audits. My signature the noose. When the Fed started sniffing around a rival firm, he needed a scapegoat. Me. The ambitious upstart who'd drink the Kool-Aid. By Monday, whispers would have painted me as the fraud, and I'd be the one in cuffs while he sailed off on his yacht. But not this time. I slammed the phone down, heart hammering like a jackhammer on Fifth Avenue asphalt. The apartment smelled of stale takeout and unfulfilled potential, pizza boxes from last night's solo Netflix binge, a half-empty wine glass on the nightstand. Modern Manhattan life, a one-bedroom in Chelsea that cost more than my parents' mortgage back in Ohio, views of the Hudson that mocked my isolation. I dressed like armor, tailored black pantsuit, silk blouse unbuttoned just enough to remind them I was human, not a drone. Heels that clicked like gunfire on the subway stairs. As the F train rattled toward Midtown, I applauded. No rash moves. Revenge isn't a sprint, it's a scalpel, precise and deep. Apex's headquarters loomed like a glass monolith on Park Avenue. All reflective surfaces and lobby art that screamed, "We're innovative. Trust us." Security nodded me through. Biometrics hadn't glitched yet, and I rode the elevator alone, rehearsing lines in my head. Play it cool. Lila. Act shocked. Gather intel. The doors dinged open on the 42nd floor. And there was the team, interns with fresh tattoos hidden under collars, analysts nursing hangovers from Thursday's team building at the Dead Rabbit. They buzzed around the open plan floor, screens glowing with pivot tables and PowerPoints. My desk waited, a war station of sticky notes and coffee rings. The photo of my sister Mia grinning from spring break in Miami, the only soft spot. Marcus's office door was ajar, his voice booming through. And we'll pivot the narrative. Blame it on market volatility. I froze, eavesdropping like a ghost. He was on the phone, pacing with that predatory prowl. Yeah. Harper's the weak link. Loyal, but naive. She'll take the fall without a fight. My blood iced. Loyal. Naive. The words I'd worn like badges. Now weapons turned against me. I slipped into the conference room early, claiming a seat at the back. Laptop open to feign busyness. The agenda popped up on the shared drive. Organizational restructuring. Bullshit bingo. At 9 sharp. They filed in Marcus at the head. All pressed Brooks Brothers and a tie that probably cost my rent. Flanking him, Elena Vasquez. The HR shark with acrylic nails and a smile like a contract clause, Tom Riley. The numbers guy who'd always lowballed my bonuses, and a smattering of mid-levels. Including Jake. My maybe almost something from accounting, who shot me a wink that curdled in my gut. Last time, that wink had been my lifeline. A post-firing drink that turned into a pity fuck. This time, leverage. Lila, glad you could make it, Marcus started, his baritone smooth as aged bourbon. Blue eyes locked on mine. Challenging. We've got exciting changes ahead. Apex is growing. But growth means tough choices. Slides flicked. Org charts redrawn. My box circled in red gone. Gasps rippled. But I schooled my face to neutral, nodding like I gave a damn. Inside, I was a storm front rolling in off the Atlantic. When he dropped the bomb, Lila's role will be absorbed into the team. I let my voice crack just a hair. The perfect mix of hurt and confusion. Absorbed? Marcus. I've led the quantum account for 2 years. That's 40% of our Q3 revenue. Murmurs. Elena shifted. Uncomfortable. Good. Plant the seeds. He leaned forward, elbows on the table. That mentor mask slipping. It's not personal. Kid. Redundant skill sets. You'll land on your feet. Kid. At 34. After pulling his ass out of the fire on the Vanguard merger, I swallowed the bile. Forced a tight smile. Appreciate the candor. Any transition plan? He waved it off, pink slip incoming. No details. The meeting dragged. Platitudes about team synergy, but my mind raced ahead. I needed proof. His emails, the offshore wires, the forged signatures. Last life. I'd found scraps after the fact. Too late. This time, I'd burrow in like a virus. Lunch was a farce, sushi from the cart guy. Eaten at my desk while I mirrored his hard drive to a thumb drive hidden in my bra. IT protocols be damned, I'd hacked the coffee machine once for fun. By 2 p.m., I had it. Folders labeled contingency, timestamps matching the audits I'd signed. Transfers to a Cayman account, memos directing me to expedite approvals without full disclosure. And the kicker, an email chain with a board member. Victor Lang, Apex's golden boy investor. Harper's our firewall, Marcus wrote. She burns. We walk. Victor Lang. The name hit like vertigo. I'd met him once. At the holiday gala, tall. Silver-haired. The kind of old money that bought silence. He'd cornered me by the bar. Scotch breath hot on my neck. Marcus speaks highly of you. Lila. Keep the trains running. Now I knew why. He was in on it. Greasing palms for a cut. Deeper than betrayal. This was a syndicate. And I was the sacrificial lamb. Afternoon blurred into feigned diligence, calls to clients, updating my LinkedIn like a good soldier, while I drafted anonymous tips in a burner email. But rash? No. I needed them isolated. Paranoid. Step 1. Rattle Marcus. I knocked on his door at 5. Carry out coffee in hand as peace offering. Thought we could talk transition. Off the record. He gestured to the leather club chair. Smug as ever. Lila. You're a pro. This is business. I sat, crossing legs, letting the hem ride up just enough. Old tricks die hard. Business, like the quantum discrepancies? I noticed some. Irregularities in the ledgers this morning. Lie. But his micro-twitch said I hit-patered. What are you implying? Nothing. Just loyalty goes both ways. Right? You've got my back, I've got yours. His laugh was forced. A bark. Always. Kid. Now. About severance. I cut him off. Standing. I'll think it over. See you Monday. The door clicked shut behind me, and in the elevator, I exhaled. The hook was set. That night, alone with a bottle of Malbec and Mia's voice on speaker, sis, you sound off. Corporate America's a meat grinder. I pieced the puzzle. Mia? My rock. The elementary school teacher in Cleveland who'd begged me to quit years ago. Money's not worth your soul. Last time, I'd called her post-pills, slurring apologies before the line went dead. This time, I promised silently, I'd make it right. For her. For the Lila who'd trusted too hard. But trust? Shattered. I scoured the drive's files till 3 a.m., highlighter tabbing fraud trails. Victor's involvement ran deeper. Emails hinting at insider trading. Apex tipping him on mergers for stock bumps. Controversial? Hell yes. Exposing this wouldn't just topple Marcus. It'd torch the firm. Jobs lost. Pensions vaporized. Innocents caught in the crossfire. My decisions loomed. Gray as Gotham fog. Burn it all. Or carve surgically. Revenge whispered the former. But the new me, the ghost-haunted version, craved justice. Not ashes. Saturday dawned gray. Rain lashing my windows like accusations. I hit the streets. Chelsea Market for overpriced croissants to steady nerves. Then a deep dive at a midtown library, public Wi-Fi. No traces. Cross-referenced Marcus's Cayman wires with SEC filings. Patterns emerged. A web snaring half the C-suite. Elena knew, her sign-off on a dummy invoice. Tom? Probably just a pawn. But pawns bleed too. By noon, I had a plan, 3 prongs. Prong 1. Leak to the press. Anonymized. Timed for Monday's market open. Prong 2. Confront Victor privately. Squeeze a confession, record it. Of course. Prong 3. The twist Marcus wouldn't see coming. His unsent email. The one I'd forged from his account. Spilling it all to the board. I'd seen his draft in the files. Half-written. A what-if mea culpa buried in a subfolder. In case it goes south, he'd titled it. Poetic. but doubts gnawed. Was this me? Or the grave talking? The old Lila would have lawyered up, sued for wrongful termination, walked away clean. This Lila? She'd dance on graves if it meant breathing free. Controversial choices. I'd seduce Jake for his login creds, harmless flirt. But it felt like trading dignity for dirt. I'd dox Elena's affair with a vendor, not for the scandal, but to force her hand. And Victor? The confrontation meant stepping into the lion's den, his penthouse overlooking Central Park, where power plays turned personal fast. Sunday. I prepped like a soldier. Burner phone charged, recorder app tested, the forged email scripted. To the board, I've strayed. Lila's clean, blame me. I'd timestamp it pre-firing. Make it look like cold feet. Mia called again. Promise me you're okay? And I lied smooth, better than ever. Lies built empires. Or so Marcus taught. Monday morning. The office hummed with layoff jitters. My redundancy the elephant in the cubicles. Marcus summoned me at 10.
Pink slip ready.
I entered smiling. Sat without invitation. Before you say it, I quit. His brow furrowed.
What? Quit.
And here's why. I slid the thumb drive across. Your contingency files. Quantum. Cayman. Victor's trades. All of it. Color drained from his face. That silver fox going feral. You bitch. Blackmail? Justice. I stood. Heels steady. Resign by noon. Or the board gets your unsent confession. The real one. He lunged, grabbing my wrist. Breath hot. You'll regret this, but I twisted free. Recorder whirring in my pocket. Touch me again. And it's assault on top of fraud. He deflated, slumping into his chair. What do you want? Your head. And Victor's. Details tumbled. Full confession. Restitution to clients. My name cleared with back pay. He nodded. Broken.
Fine.
But Lang, he's untouchable. Am I? The door burst. Security?
No.
Elena. Eyes wide. Marcus. The SEC's in the lobby. Anonymous tip. Chaos erupted. Phones ringing. Shouts echoing. I slipped out. Heart pounding. Jake's wink now a lifeline as he covered. Lila left early. Flew. Outside. Park Avenue air crisp with autumn bite. I hailed a cab, not to die, but to live. Victor's penthouse next. The doorman waved me up, mister. Lang's expecting you, and in the gilded elevator. I armed the recorder. His door opened to orchids and old money. Victor in cashmere. Scotch in hand. Lila Harper. Marcus's girl. To what do I owe? Everything. I played the tape. Marcus's pleas. The files excerpts. His laugh was ice. Ambitious. But naive. Sit. We dueled words over skyline views. Him offering bribes. A partnership. Equity. Me countering with leaks to the Times. Controversial? I let him think he had me. Tears feigned. Then flipped. One call. And your portfolio's SEC bait. He cracked. Dictating a confession to my phone. Voice trembling. For the record, I colluded. By dusk. It was done. Back home. Wine untouched. I watched the news ticker. Apex Dynamics scandal. Exec resigns amid fraud probe. Marcus's face. Haggard. Victor's. Absent but implicated. My phone lit with Mia's text. Proud of you.
Sis.
Whatever you did. No details shared. Some secrets stay buried.
But the twist?
As I deleted the burners, an email pinged from Marcus's account, auto-sent on a timer I'd missed. His real unsent confession. The one not forged. Bored. If you're reading this, it's over. Lila knew nothing. I framed her to save my skin. Forgive me.
Posted at midnight.
Time-stamped pre-chaos. The board found it next morning, vindicating me utterly. Redundant? Never again. I poured that wine, toasting the woman who'd risen from ashes. Revenge tasted sweet, but freedom? That was the real high. The fallout hit like a nor'easter. Winds howling through Apex's corridors by Tuesday, shredding the facade of invincibility. I woke to my real phone, not the burner, buzzing off the hook, reporters from the Post sniffing for quotes. Old colleagues texting WTF happened, and a voicemail from HR Selena. Voice syrupy with panic. Lila. We need to talk. Your role. It's not what it seems. Not what it seems. Understatement of the century. I deleted it, blocked the number, and brewed coffee strong enough to strip paint. Freedom's first taste, no commute, no metrics, just the raw pulse of a city that never sleeps. But ghosts don't fade easy. That afternoon, holed up in a Soho cafe with laptop and latte, I scrolled the feeds. Marcus's resignation splashed across CNBC. Golden parachute or poison pill? His yacht dreams grounded. Cayman accounts frozen. Victor Lang? The old lion roared back, denying everything in a terse statement, but whispers of subpoenas circled like vultures. And me? A footnote. Former VP Lila Harper. Cleared of involvement.
Cleared.
Like I'd been guilty till proven otherwise. Then just a stung. A fresh bruise on the old ones. I could have walked away then, updated the resume, chased a gig at a boutique firm upstate, rebuilt clean. Mia urged it on our call. Come home.
Lil. Teach with me.
Kids don't backstab. Her laugh was sunlight, but mine stayed shadowed.
No.
The reset wasn't for escape. It was for excavation. The buried secret wasn't just fraud, it was personal. Months before the firing, I'd confided in Marcus about Dad's cancer, the chemo bills piling like snowdrifts in Ohio. He'd helped, wiring $50,000 anonymously to our account. With a wink, team player perk. Now, I traced it, laundered from the very funds he'd pinned on me. My family's lifeline, tainted. Betrayal's deepest cut, he'd used my vulnerability as his shield. Rage simmered, but I channeled it surgical. Step 2 of the plan, isolate the pawns. Turn them against the king. Jake first. I met him at his favorite dive, the ginger man on 36, after his shift, dim booths, sticky floors, the kind of place secrets stick like spilled stout. He slid in opposite, boyish grin fading at my expression. Lila.
Shit.
I heard. You okay? Better question, are you? I slid my phone across, playing the tape, not the full confessional, just Marcus's wrist grab threat. Jake paled. Adam's apple bobbing. Jesus. That's assault. And fraud. You signed off on the reallocations.
Jake.
Remember? Just rubber stamp. Boss's orders. He squirmed. Beer untouched. I didn't know. You did. Or you chose not to. Controversial move. I leaned in, let my hand brush his. Voice low. Help me. And I bury this.
Testify if it comes to that.
Date night after? Seduction as strategy, sleazy?
Yeah.
Effective? His nod was eager. By closing time, I had his login, his story, and a reluctant ally. For you, Lila. Always. Elena next. Her fare? I dug it from the drive, steamy texts with a vendor rep. Midnight meetings at the Ace Hotel. Blackmail's ugly, but so's complicity. I cornered her and the ladies at a networking mixer that night. Chanel no. 5 clashing with her fierce wet. Vasquez. We both know why you're sweating more than the dance floor. Her acrylics dug into her clutch. Harper. This isn't. Save it. Your invoices match Marcus's dummies. And Raul? Charming guy. But HR frowns on conflicts. She deflated against the sink. Mascara threatening rivers. What do you want?
Truth.
To the investigators. And a reference that doesn't mention team player. She agreed. Sniffling, pawn flipped. By midnight, I'd flipped Tom too. Over Zoom from his Jersey McMansion. Numbers don't lie. Riley. But you did. Walk me through the ledgers. Or your mortgage gets interesting. His wife's photo in the background sealed it. Family man. Soft underbelly. Wednesday brought the subpoena, mine, as a material witness. The Fed's office in Foley Square smelled of bureaucracy and bad coffee. Agents in off-rack suits grilling me over fluorescent buzz. MS.
Harper.
Your signatures on the audits. Forged under duress. Marcus directed. Victor approved. I laid it out, timelines, files. The $50,000 to my family as Exhibit A. Their nods were professional, but I caught the flicker, respect, or pity for the woman who'd almost been the fall girl, walking out into the drizzle. Cuffs nowhere in sight. I felt the weight lift. Not gone, but lighter. Justice wasn't cathartic, it was clinical, a scalpel excising the rot. But the antagonist schemed on. Thursday's mail brought a plain envelope, no return address. Victor's monogrammed stationery inside. Meet me. 8 p.m. The Polo Lounge. Come alone. Or the $50,000 becomes public, your father's gift from a fraud. Threat wrapped in velvet. Controversial crossroads. Go. And risk everything. Ghost him. And the smear sticks. I chose the fire. Dress to kill. Red sheath. Louboutins. I strode into the Waldorf's opulence. Chandeliers dripping like honeyed lies. Victor waited in a corner booth. Scotch neat. Face carved from granite. Lila. Bold. Coming here. No preamble. I sat. Ordered a Manhattan. Your move.
Lang.
Threats don't scare ghosts. Ghosts. His brow arched, but eyes narrowed. He'd heard the rumors. My uncanny foresight. You've been prescient. Marcus ratted.
No.
I did. I slid a USB across Jake's ledgers. Elena's testimony draft. Tom's wire trails. Your trades. Timestamped. Insider tips from Apex briefings. SEC loves patterns. He sipped. Unperturbed. And your price? Everyone has one. Confession.
Full.
On video. I tapped record under the table. He laughed. Low thunder. Ambitious girl. But you're in over your head. That $50,000? Gratitude. Not graft. Your old man deserved it, dying broke while you chase skyscrapers.
Dad.
The mention twisted.
Raw.
Don't. Voice steady. But inside. Storm. He'd battled pancreatic. Stage 4. Chemo turning him skeletal in that Cleveland rancher. I'd wired what I could, but the bills. Marcus's gift had bought the hospice bed, the pain meds. Tainted now.
But real then.
Victor leaned in, voice silk over steel. I knew your father, Lila. From the firm.
Back when.
Good man. Bad luck. This. He waved the files. Business. Walk away. Keep the money clean. Lie or truth. My gut churned, buried secret number 2. Dad worked at Apex's Cleveland satellite. Pre-merger. Had Victor. No time. Confess. Or I hit send. Stalemate stretched. Jazz crooning from the lounge piano. Finally. He nodded, reciting into my phone. Victor Lang. Admit to colluding with Marcus Hale on fraudulent transfers and insider trades, implicating Apex dynamics.
Done.
I stood, Manhattan half-drunk. Pleasure, Victor. His smile was wolfish. One more thing. You're redundant no more. But power corrupts.
Girl.
Careful it doesn't remake you.
Outside.
Cab fumes and neon blurred. His words echoed. Remake me? The reset had already, from trusting ingenue to calculated avenger. Was this justice? Or just vengeance in a pantsuit? Mia's text lit my screen. News says Apex is toast. You involved? I typed back. Just a witness. Love you.
Truth.
Half told. Friday. The board convened emergency. Leaks everywhere. Stock plummeting 20%. I watched from a Bleecker Street wine bar. CNN muted. As suits scattered like roaches. Marcus's yacht?
Seized.
Elena's resignation. Tearful on LinkedIn. Tom's sabbatical. And the unsent email? It dropped at dawn. His digital suicide note vindicating me. Painting him the lone wolf. Lila Harper, exemplary. Unwitting pawn. The board's response. Full exoneration. Back pay wired by noon, 6 figures.
Clean.
But the twist nod. Saturday. Alone with Jazz on vinyl. Coltrane wailing like my soul. I cross-checked Dad's old personnel file. Hacked from Apex's archive. Victor hadn't just known him. He'd blackballed him post-layoff. Whispering unreliable to block rehire. Dad's cancer stress? Amplified by that rejection. Bills mounting till the end. The secret buried deepest. My betrayal traced to his. A generational curse I'd unwittingly perpetuated. Rage crusted, but ebbed to resolve. Sunday brunch with Jake, real this time. No strings, over avocado toast at Sarah Beth's. You're different. Lila.
Stronger.
His hand on mine.
Tentative.
Maybe. Or just scarred. Life's too short for redundancies, I quipped, but meant it bone deep. Monday. New gig offers flooded. Headhunter for McKinsey. We need your edge. I demurred. Plotting bigger, my own firm. Ethics first. Clawing space from the Hales and Langs. But Victor's warning lingered. Power remakes. As I signed the lease on a loft in the village, views of nothing but possibility, I wondered, was the reset a gift? Or a mirror? The woman staring back in the window wasn't the old Lila, nor the ghost. She was forged in fire, ready to burn brighter. Yet, in quiet moments, doubt whispered, The controversial calls, seducing allies. Threatening families, left stains. Happy ending? Maybe. But justice's price was a piece of soul. Traded for the win. And as the city thrummed below, I toasted to the long game. Redundant no more. Months blurred into a rhythm I'd scripted myself. Mornings at the new loft. Yoga on the Hudson Esplanade to sweat out the shadows. Afternoons buried in pitch decks for Harper Strategies, my baby. Bootstrapped from back pay and grit. No apex ghosts haunted the space. Minimalist white walls. A fiddly fig from Mia's care package. And a wall of windows framing the skyline I'd once chased. Clients trickled in, mid-tier core wary of scandal. Hungry for unbiased audits. I delivered. Sharp as a stiletto. Billing hours that built a buffer against the what-ifs. Mia visited in November. Thanksgiving redux in my kitchen. Turkey from Zabbers. Her stories of third graders melting the frost on my edges. You're glowing,
sis.
like you beat the devil. Close enough. We walked the high line, leaves crunching underfoot, her arm linked in mine. But that edge, don't let it cut you. Her eyes, same hazel, saw too much. I squeezed back, promise.
Lies. Still.
The edge was my armor now, dulled but necessary. The case dragged into winter. Fed's gears grinding slow as January slush. Marcus flipped first, plea deal. Naming names in a lower Manhattan courtroom that reeked of polished wood and desperation. I testified in February. Pantsuit crisp. Voice steady under fluorescent glare. He groomed me, then discarded me. The signatures? Coerced. Jurors nodded. Faces a jury of my peers, teachers, plumbers, the everyday crushed by white-collar wolves. Victor's turn came in March. His silver hair thinner. Cashmere rumpled. Cross-exam. His eyes met mine across the bar. Not wolfish now, but hollow. MS. Harper. You profited too.
Lie.
But the venom stung. My rebuttal. From your scraps?
No.
I profited from surviving. Verdicts dropped in April, Marcus. 8 years. White-collar wing at Otisville. Victor. House arrest. Assets liquidated. His Central Park perch sold to a tech bro. Elena walked with probation. Tom with a fine he could afford. Justice?
Checkered.
The headlines crowed, Apex implosion. Heroes and villains. Me cast as the whistleblower saint.
Saint.
The word chafed. Saints don't forge emails or flirt for files. Controversy brewed in the op-eds. Harper's revenge. Ethical or excessive? Pundits dissected my aggressive tactics, leaks painting me vigilante, not victim. A Fox segment called it corporate cancel culture, while the Times lauded a woman's calculated stand. Polarized, as American as apple pie and pitchforks. I ignored it, mostly until Jake's call. Voice tight over speaker in my office. Lila, the board's suing. Defamation. They claim you planted the email. The unsent confession. My forgery. Exposed? Heart stuttered.
How?
IT audit. Timestamp mismatch. They're saying you hacked Marcus's account.
Shit.
The timer I'd set sloppy. A glitch in the reset's perfection. Controversial apex. Fight dirty or fold clean. I met their lawyers at a neutral spot. The Lambs Club. Mahogany and murmurs. Led counsel. A bulldog in pinstripes. Settle. MS. Harper. Or we drag your Methods into court. Methods. The seduction. The threats. All fodder. And if I don't, your reputation shreds. Harper's strategies? Dead on arrival. Stalemate. Scotch burning my throat. That night, rain lashing the loft like judgment, I paced. The reset's gift curdling, victory tainted by blowback. Call Mia?
No.
Burden her with this? Jake offered to testify. We were together. Alibis. But it felt like chains. Twist's shadow loomed. Dawn broke gray. And I dove into the files, not apexes, but my own backups. There, buried in metadata, the original unsent email. Marcus's real draft. Auto-sent by his own failsafe. Timestamp pristine. Pre-firing. I'd forged a ghost that was flesh. Relief flooded. Hot as tears I hadn't shed since the cab's blur. Armed, I countered. Press conference. Full disclosure. The board chases shadows. Here's the truth. Midtown scrum. Mics thrusting like bayonets. MS. Harper. Vigilante justice. I leaned in, unblinking. Justice isn't vigilante when it's earned. Marcus confessed because he couldn't live with it. I just survived. Flashes popped. Questions volleyed. But I walked out unbroken. The suit crumbling by week's end. Bad optics. Public tide turned. Summer bloomed. Harper Strategies thriving. 7 figures revenue. A team of 3, all women. All vetted for spine. Jake, steady now. Weekends in the Hamptons. His hand in mine on dune walks. Whispering, you're my North Star.
Love. Tentative?
But real. No grand gestures, just quiet. The kind that heals. But the buried secret resurfaced in July. A manila envelope slipped under my door. Dad's old journal. Pages yellowed. From Mom's attic cleanout. Mia's note. Found this. Thought you'd want. His scrawl. Faded. Entries on Victor's favor. A promotion dangled. Then yanked when Dad questioned shady deals. Called it ethics. He called it weakness. Cancer came after. Stress maybe. Lila. Chase dreams. But guard your soul. Tears blurred ink. The betrayal generational. A chain I'd snapped. Climax crested at the Apex Remnants Gala. Rebirth soiree. Ironic as hell. Black tie at the Met. Invite came and signed.
Bait.
I went. Red gown flowing like blood. Jake on arm. There, Elena. Tipsy by the bar. Tom. Schmoozing ghosts. No Marcus. No Victor. But the board chair. A fossil in tux. Lila. Grace under fire. Fire I lit. We clinked flutes. Tension electric. Whispers swirled, my takedown, the controversial queen. Then, the twist's full bloom, a screen flickered. Gala AV hijacked. Marcus's face. Pale from prison greens, pre-recorded. Smuggled out. Bored. If this plays, it's my final word. Lila Harper didn't plan a thing. I did the email. The timer. To clear her when the walls closed. She fought clean, I didn't. Forgive her. Damn me. Gasps rippled. Champagne spilling. The chair sputtered. Elena bolted.
Me?
I stood frozen. Then laughed, raw. Releasing. He'd rigged his own noose. A last act of
What?
guilt? Gratitude? The mentor eyed half-loved, half-hated. twisting the knife one final turn to free me utterly. Crowd parted. Eyes on me, hero. Villain. Enigma. Jake squeezed my hand. You good? Better. The reset's loop closed. Not with ashes, but embers glowing steady. Fall turned to winter again. A year cycled. Mia's wedding in Cleveland. Me as maid of honor. Toasting her and the engineer with bad jokes. To non-redundant roles. Laughter.
Real.
Back in the city. Loft warmer now with Jake's guitar in the corner. Our rhythms sinking slow. Ending? Not fairy tale, but fitting. Happy. Laced with scars, the controversial choices etched, but owned. Victor's house arrest ended in a plea. Quiet fade. Marcus? Rumors of appeals, but silent suits.
Me?
Harper Strategies hit 8 figures. Ethics clause ironclad. No more ghosts, just the woman who died. Risen. And rewritten the board. As snow dusted the Hudson one December eve, I stood at the window. Manhattan's pulse below. Redundant? Hell no. Reset? Priceless. And the unsent confession? It hung framed on my wall. Not as trophy, but reminder. Even villains confess. Even I forgive a little.